Episode 11. The Hunter's Lens. Beacon Verge pulsed under a restless dusk, its neon veins throbbing with the maglev trains and the chatter of late-night traders. The city's polished spires loomed over slums that clung like barnacles to their roots. A fractured world where freedom was a half-kept promise. Zara Rain moved through its shadows, a specter in liquid black, her crimson cyber eye slicing through the haze. Tonight, she wasn't alone. 3 assassins flanked her, each a weapon forged by the Order of the Silent Spiral, each a shard of death honed to complement her own. They glided through an alley near Liberty Spire, their silhouettes blending with the city's pulse, drawn by the faint thread of Kane Voss's trail. The first was Torin Cade, a lean predator in his early 30s, standing 6 feet 1 inch with a frame carved from wire and steel. His skin was pale as moonlight, marred by ritual scars that traced his forearms, runes from Earthward's feral tribes, where he'd been born before the Order claimed him. His eyes, a piercing green, missed nothing, and his shaved head gleamed under the alley's flicker. Torin was a sniper, unmatched with a pulse rifle that could thread a needle at a kilometer. Its scope synced to his neural implant for flawless precision. His strength was patience, a stillness that let him blend into any terrain, urban sprawl or verdant jungles, waiting hours, days, for the perfect shot. His unique edge was his empathy, a curse and a gift. He could read a target's fear, their habits, from a twitch or a glance, predicting moves before they happened. Silent, unless pressed, his voice carried Earthward's low cadence, reverent but clipped, as if words were rations to hoard. Next came Lysa Vren, late 20s, 5 feet 5 inches and compact, her body a coil of explosive power. Her tawny skin glowed under neon, her braided black hair studded with Unity Drift's neural beads, mementos from a life she'd burned to join the Order. Her hazel eyes sparked with mischief, masking a mind that thrived on chaos. Lysa was a demolitionist, her satchel packed with microcharges and EMP spikes that could gut a city block or fry a drone swarm. Her strength was improvisation. Give her scrap, and she'd build a bomb. Give her a plan, and she'd rewrite it mid-fight, grinning as the world burned. Her quirk was her laugh, a sharp, infectious bark that broke tension but never dulled her edge. Raised in Unity Drift's synced hives, she'd rejected their harmony for anarchy. And her speech, fast, laced with slang, betrayed a mind that raced ahead of her foes. Last was Ram Sol, a hulking figure at 6 feet 4 inches, mid-40s, his broad frame clad in Iron Dominion leathers, patched and scarred like his own skin. His face was a blunt weapon, square jaw, broken nose, gray eyes cold as slate under a buzz of salt and pepper hair. Ram was a brawler, his fists augmented with subdermal knuck plates that hit like pistons, capable of crumpling armor or bone. His strength was endurance. Tales whispered of him fighting 3 days straight in Dominion pits, bleeding but unbowed. His unique trait was loyalty, a dogged devotion to the Order's cause, seeing Gideon as a father where others saw a master. Raised in Iron Dominion's forts, his speech was gruff, deliberate, every word weighed like a blade swing. But he intoned old war ballads under his breath, a tick that softened his menace. Together, they were Zara's pack, Torin's precision, Lysa's chaos, Ram's brute force orbiting her cold command. She led them to a rooftop overlooking Sadie Hall's townhouse, a modest 2-story nestled in Beacon Verge's academic quarter, its windows dark, ivy creeping up its brick. Zara's cyber eye scanned the street. No drones, no heat signatures, just the sound of a city winding down. "She's not here," Zara murmured, her Iron Dominion burr low, sharp. "But she's left tracks. Torin, perimeter. Lysa, rig a sensor. Net. Silent pings. Only. Ram, with me." Torin melted into the shadows, his rifle slung low, eyes scanning rooftops. Lysa crouched, planting microsensors that pulsed faintly, invisible to Libra's sweeps. Ram loomed at Zara's side as she breached the townhouse door, a micro-tool cracking the lock in seconds, silent, as a breath. Inside, the air was still, smelling of coffee and worn leather, a scholar's haven, untouched by chaos. Zara moved, like a profiler, dissecting a killer's mind, her cyber eye cataloging every detail, building Sadie Hall from fragments. The living room was sparse but deliberate, a sagging couch, a hollow rig projecting a star chart, books stacked on a crate-turned table. She lifted a dog-eared volume, Pre-Flood Anomalies, its margins scrawled with Sadie's tight script. Questions, theories, a mind that didn't rest. Curious, Zara mused, tracing a note. Ley lines equals energy grid? Check Azor's data. She's obsessive, driven, chasing truths others bury. In the kitchen, a chipped mug sat by the sink, its handle worn from use. Sadie drank alone, late nights, no guests. A fridge held vat-grown fruit, meticulously organized, but a single whiskey bottle hid behind it, half empty. Disciplined, but not rigid, Zara said, her voice a whisper. She indulges privately when the weight hits. Ram grunted, shifting a chair, and Zara shot him a look. Silence was law here. Upstairs, Sadie's bedroom revealed more. A narrow bed, neatly made, a field jacket slung over a chair. Scuffed, practical, a woman who walked ruins, not parlors. A hollow frame flickered on the nightstand, showing Sadie at a dig site, mid-laugh, arm around an older man with white hair. Dr. Aldous Wellington, Zara's cyber eye confirmed, cross-referencing Liberty Spire's faculty logs. Her mentor, she said, tapping the frame. Close, like family. A drawer held a knife, C-rated, well-kept, not decorative. She's no stranger to danger, trust steel over tech. The study was the heart of Sadie's mind. Shelves groaned with data pads, stone fragments, a cracked tablet etched with glyphs. A desk held a hollow pad open to a map. Atlantic sites, red pins marking ruins. Zara swiped through notes, her eye whirring. Atlantis, she read, a term repeating in Sadie's files, tied to energy signatures, lost tech. A photo slipped from a book, Sadie and a younger Kane, arms around each other, grinning under a desert sky. Zara's lips curled. Old flame indeed. She's his anchor, his weakness. She lingered on a journal, its pages dense with Sadie's thoughts. History's a cycle. Rise, fall, repeat. What if we're next? Another entry. Rawr. Kane's back. Damn him. Why now? Zara's mind clicked, profiling Sadie like prey. She's brilliant, relentless, but loyal to a fault. Hurts deep, hides it deeper. Kane's her blind spot. She'll protect him, even if it burns her. And where does she run when cornered? Not away. To him. Wellington. Zara stepped back, the house a map of Sadie's soul. Ordered yet restless. Fierce yet fragile. A woman who'd chase a relic to hell, but anchor herself to those she trusted. Aldous Wellington's her haven, Zara said to Ram, her voice firm. That's where she's gone. Kane's with her, and the core. Outside, Zara patched to Gideon, her wrist comm buzzing as the line encrypted. Torrin and Lisa rejoined, silent, their sensors confirming no tails. Gideon's voice answered, velvet and sharp, the obsidian veil's hustle and bustle faint behind him. Report, Zara. Sadie Hall's house empty, she said, her burr clipped. Profiled her, scholar, fighter, loyal. Obsessed with lost history, tied to Kane, anchored to Dr. Aldous Wellington, her mentor. She's with him, I'd bet my blade. Kane and the core, too. Wellington's place, north end, off-grid, perfect for hiding. Gideon paused, his silence heavy with calculation. Exceptional work, he said, a rare warmth in his tone. You've cut through the noise, Zara. Scout Wellington's house. I know him. We've done business in the past. He's shrewd. Learn everything. Patterns, defenses, exits. If you spot Sadie or Kane, confirm but hold. Call me for orders. The core's our prize, no mistakes. Understood, Zara said, cutting the line. She turned to her team, eyes glinting. Torin, high ground, scope the north end. Lisa, tap local feeds. No trace. Rom, you're my shadow. We move quiet. We move now. Aldous Wellington's townhouse sat cloaked in Verdant's glowing ivy, a fortress of secrets in Beacon Verge's quiet fringe. Zara arrived under cover of night, her team fanning out. Torin on a rooftop, his rifle's scope sweeping the street. Lisa in an alley, her holopad hacking ambient signals. Rom at Zara's side, a silent wall of muscle. She studied the house, her cyber eye mapping its contours. No drones, no cams. Windows dark but warm with faint heat signatures. Occupied, but cautious. Her instincts sang. Sadie was here. Kane too. The core between them. For 2 nights Zara staked it out, a ghost in the shadows. She learned the house's rhythm, lights dimming at midnight, a figure, Aldous likely, pacing at dawn. No visitors, no tech pings. The full moon loomed, its pale glow sharpening her focus. On the 3rd night, as the moon hung fat and silver, movement broke the stillness. Zara crouched in a thicket across the street, her camo blending with the dark, her cyber eye zooming in. Sadie emerged first, her chestnut hair catching moonlight, her frame taut with purpose. Kane followed, hood up, his scarred cheek shadowed but unmistakable, the core cradled in his hands, dull gray, inert. Aldous came last, his white hair a beacon, his eyes fixed on the sky. They stood in the yard, a triangle of intent, and Kane raised the core, its facets glinting under the moon's gaze. Light erupted, blues, violets, golds swirling like a galaxy unleashed, the core pulsing with colors that seemed to sing. Patterns danced across its surface, runes, glyphs, alive and shifting, casting shadows that writhed on the grass. Sadie gasped. Aldous muttered something Zara couldn't catch, and Kane stood frozen. The core vibrated the air. It was alive, awake, a relic no longer sleeping. Zara's breath caught, her cyber eye recording every pulse, every hue. This was no tech, no ASI toy. This was something older, deeper, a key to gods or graves. She patched to Gideon, her voice low, urgent. It's active, Gideon. Kane's holding it, full moon, Wellington's yard. Sadie and Aldous are with him. The core, it's lit up, runes moving like it's speaking. Gideon's silence stretched, a void heavy with shock. When he spoke, his velvet tone cracked, raw with awe. Active? You're certain? A pause, then sharper. Stand down, Zara. Do not harm them. Kane, Sadie, Aldous, any of them. Kane must stay alive. The core is tied to him somehow, his blood, his will. Hold position. Watch. Report. No moves until I say. Understood, Zara said, her eye locked on the trio. The core's light fading as Kane lowered it, its sound softening. They retreated inside, Aldous' arm on Sadie's shoulder, Kane trailing, head low. Zara stayed rooted, her team silent in their posts, the moon's gaze cold above. The core had spoken, and Gideon's flinch told her everything. The game had shifted, the spiral's plans bending to a truth they hadn't grasped. Kane was no longer prey, he was a key, and Zara was the shadow that'd guard or end him, depending on the turn of fate's blade.